We don't need anything. So why are we losing $200 billion a year and more to protect Canada? If we don't make a deal with Canada, we're going to put a big tariff on cars, could be a 50 or 100%, because we don't want their cars.
Most Americans don't know that an invisible economic thread binds their lives to Ontario, Canada, and cutting it could collapse their city's economy overnight. It sounds impossible, but right now, 5 American cities face an existential crisis because of a hidden dependency that rarely makes the news. Replacing these ties would cost billions and take decades. Your job security, home value, local schools, even your hospital, all connected to this quiet relationship. So, which American cities can't survive without Ontario? And is yours one of them? What you're about to learn might completely change how you see your economic future. Let's start with San Antonio. Almost half of everything manufactured in San Antonio ends up in Canada. It's a surprising dependency, and one that puts this Texas city at greater risk from trade disruptions than nearly anywhere else in the country. Inside a huge factory on the city's east side, production manager Carlos Vasquez reviews shipment, manifests with growing concern. People think Texas trades with Mexico, he says, motioning to rows of products awaiting trucks. But 48% of what we make here goes to Ontario. Any border restrictions could shut us down. This dependency isn't small. It accounts for 3.4% of San Antonio's entire economy and supports around 300,000 jobs. From aerospace systems to automotive components, the goods flowing north form a vital artery that few even realize exists. The relationship didn't happen overnight. As Ontario's manufacturing sector evolved, it needed specific parts, and San Antonio happened to specialize in them. Over time, what began as simple trade turned into a deeply intertwined supply chain. For workers like Jason Thompson, a third-generation employee at a precision machining company, the stakes are deeply personal. My dad, my granddad, and now me, we've all made parts that go to Canada, he says. People don't think about it, but my mortgage, my kids' college fund, it all depends on those shipments. City officials know the risks. They've started making contingency plans, but unwinding decades of integration won't happen fast. We've diversified, says Economic Director Robert Chen, but replacing these connections would take years. San Antonio isn't alone. Another bond, forged over a century, runs through America's automotive heartland. The question is, how can a car part cross the border 6 times before the vehicle reaches a customer? Take a simple piston. It starts as aluminum from Quebec. It's sent to Ontario for processing, then to Detroit for machining, then back to Windsor, then to Michigan for assembly, then across the border again as part of a finished car. It sounds inefficient, but it's actually the opposite. It's decades of specialization. Ontario and Michigan together produce 22% of North America's vehicles, and they do it better by sharing the work. The Windsor-Detroit corridor is more than geography, it's family. Just ask the Kovalichuks. Dmitry spent 30 years at a Windsor engine plant. His son Alexei manages logistics in Detroit. His granddaughter Natasha designs electrical systems back in Windsor. It's one system, she says. The river's just a line. What matters is the expertise, and that's shared. Break this system and every vehicle becomes more expensive, $1,700 more, according to research. The knowledge on each side of the border can't be replicated overnight, and this goes far beyond cars. That soda can in your hand? Ontario aluminum, the electricity powering your home. It might be flowing south from Canadian hydro plants. In New York, utility manager Rachel Williams points to a screen showing real-time electricity transfers. People flip a switch, she says, but don't realize their power might come from Ontario. The grid works like a single organism. Try separating it. It's like removing veins from a body. Across the U.S., the pattern repeats. Kansas City's grain exports, Houston's chemical refineries, Seattle's aircraft production. All of them rely on Canadian inputs, often from Ontario. It's a simple economic truth. Integration creates efficiency, but it also creates vulnerability. Over time, Ontario built strengths in energy, aluminum, and precision tools. American cities specialized in industries that depend on them. The result? A binational economic ecosystem, invisible but vital. Take Mayor Elizabeth Chen of a Michigan factory town. Canadian components make up 30% of our inputs. If that stops, thousands of jobs are at risk. That's a crisis. The data tells part of the story, but behind every number is a person, a warehouse manager, an assembly line worker, a truck driver, all depending on this cross-border lifeline. This isn't abstract economics. This is your community. And if you're surprised, you're not alone. We spent hundreds of hours tracing these connections, and now you know what most don't. Your local economy may hinge on a relationship that's never made headlines. Let's go back to Detroit, a city whose heartbeat crosses the Ambassador Bridge. Michael Sanderson runs logistics for an auto supplier. From his office, he can see the bridge and the trade it carries. That's not just infrastructure, he says. It's our lifeline, $27 billion a year, but more importantly, my family's livelihood. His wife teaches in Windsor. His brother works in a tool shop across the border. His daughter manages quality at a Detroit plant. This is more than trade. It's a shared life. Maria Delgado has worked in the industry for decades. We have the same weather, same teams, same economy, she says. When Windsor catches a cold, Detroit gets pneumonia. Detroit sends 5% of its GDP to Canada, more than any other major U.S. city. But it's not just autos, it's healthcare, education, services, all crossing the border daily. Detroit's rebound, says economist Dr. James Chen, isn't happening alone. It's tied to Ontario. You strengthen one, you lift the whole region. But what about a city in the heart of the country, far from any border? Kansas City. Its central location made it a logistics giant. But now, that centrality means vulnerability. 40% of its exports go to Canada. In a massive distribution center, Sarah Johnson monitors shipments headed north. We're not just the heart of America, she says. We're the crossroads of North America. When trade flows shift, we feel it first. At Ford's nearby plant, components come from 12 U.S. states and 4 Canadian provinces. If Canada stops sending parts, says plant manager Robert Davis, we shut down in hours. That's 7,000 direct jobs, 30,000 more indirectly. Beyond cars, Kansas City depends on Canada for agriculture, chemicals, machinery. Pull one thread, the whole system strains. This is the story of 5 cities. But the lesson is national. An invisible economic thread binds your life to Ontario. You may not see it, but it shapes your paycheck, your power bill, and your city's future, and cutting it could change everything.